what I'm curious to see is how Loom interacts with the camera. Anyways, if I can watch this video back in 2 times speed on Loom, that would be phenomenal. Here the thing is how do we get into the business, yada 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 yada, such and so forth. The idea is this video. Hello everyone, my name is SLC, Sean Chung Lee, however you want to call me. I'm a digital integrator, and basically what that is what the heck is going on? What is this digital integration space? What are all these phone calls? What are all these scams? Yada 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 yada. I think what it is actually getting on a Zoom with someone and realizing, okay, what kind of value they have. But people are like fake, they're gonna put bots on their account, yada yada yada, such on and so forth. Really, you just have to like figure out, similar to the NFT space, the Discord chats genuine. So like, yes, hello, I am Sean. I run a digital integration agency and SLC SMMA on Facebook pages group. Anyways, what I wanted to talk about was what the hell is making money online? What the hell is scaling online? What the hell is a yacht? What the hell is Airbnbs? TikTok business, all this bullshit, right? What it is the internet changed everything. So give me a piece of paper and I'll explain why the internet changed everything. So here I have my notepad from college, and basically if we're gonna talk about what businesses and what the internet and how internet changed everything, picture it like this. Back then, where's my marker? If I wanted to ask a client to, hey, please buy my deal, I would have to send a pigeon, I would have to send a boat, a ship, I would have to go like 2 months on a boat to go say, hey, here's a pound of gold, can you please sign this contract? And what happened is the person would have to travel from point A to point B just to sign the contract, right? So let's say at the bottom there's a place to sign the contract, right? So this is back then, right? It took 2 months, right? It took 2 months for someone to get to a location just so then they could do this, draw a line on the bottom and say, yes, I agree to the contract, and then they would sign it. Boom. Boom. It took them 2 months to get from point A to point B to sign that contract. So then the person that they're doing can, do the service for them. Make books, make newspapers, 200 years ago, whatever advertisement they had. Newspapers, print, in the 19th century, I'm not quite sure. Anyways, what I am trying to say, the internet changed everything. Now, instead of having to write down, yes, yes, I want to do the product with you, what the person, all they have to do is go on DocuSign, type in a couple letters, send it, and boom, they sign a contract. 1.5 seconds, right? Took 1.5 seconds, took 1 second literally just to send it immediately, and then the person can sign a contract digitally, and then boom, let's do the service together. Now, the reason why video is way better is because when you read a mundane copyright, long-ass, 20-page bullshit contract, there's the if one thing happened, we had to give all the money back. If one thing happened, we need to credit all the money back. If one thing happened, yada, yada, yada. The reason why video is very, accessible and much keener is you can listen in the background. You can see my hands. You can see, hey, Sean's a real person. Like, I'm not talking to a bot, right? And so I think instead of, writing this long-ass contract, and the terms and the conditions, those are all important. I'm not saying I don't have a 30-page contract. I need to have one. I'm a business owner, right? I'm not saying I don't have a 50-page contract, a 100-page contract, yellow pages, right? It's not that I don't have them. I have them, right? But like essentials, bare minimum, prospects, whatever. We're trying to scale to the moon, right? To Mars. Elon Musk trying to get to the Elon Musk is trying to get to the Mars, right? He's trying to get to a different multiplanetary situation. We don't have time for BS, right? So cut the BS. Nowadays, the contract, right, in a couple months, a couple years, right, the blockchain, the NFT space, right, video format, the contract is going to be a video. So instead of me having to send, where's the piece of paper? Here. Give me something like here. Instead of me having to send, a whole contract that's, a small book. Here, read my contract, right? Here's a small book. This is the contract now. And then the same idea. The signature, instead of this, transformed to typing on a computer, that's gonna disappear too. The contract is no longer gonna. The world has changed. And the internet changed everything. And now because of COVID, the video virtual reality platform has changed everything. The blockchain changed everything. The reason why actual writing down and typing contracts are not going to be verifiable anymore, because a scammer could identify as me and write down SLC. A scammer could identify as me and write down Shangli Chang on the DocuSign. I could lose all my money. The reason why video format is going to change everything is the actual contract will be a video. Hey, I'm Sean. Welcome to the SLC Digital Integrator Agency, SLC SMMA on Facebook pages. Anyways, yada, yada, yada. Like, welcome to the business, welcome to like everything. Boom, this is the video contract I'll be sending out. Then level 2, the person, the prospect, the salesperson that wants to do business with me, right? Instead of having to, fly a pigeon, 3,000 miles over the Atlantic, over the Pacific, instead of having to, take 1 second to type something because for some reason typing is a lot of work, they would just hold the button on their, whatever, TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram, on their iPhone 12, right? Literally hold the button. They would just hold the button, right? I don't have my phone with me, but here, we'll just pretend that my deodorant is my phone. So like, my deodorant's my phone, okay? I'll literally hold it, say, hey Sean, I saw your video, let's do business together. This is the contract because screw typing and screw writing. Here's the video format, now person to person, yada yada. Hit send, I'll get the video. Oh, so-and-so wants to do business with me. I'll send a video back. Hey brother, like how you been? Like I'm a digital integrator, like let's get on a call together. That's gonna be the confirmation contract back and forth, rather than having to send a pigeon 3,000 miles over the Atlantic, or because some people are too lazy to sign a DocuSign. But also, like I said, scammers and stuff like that can easily just identify as Sean, type SLC, hit sign, I could lose all my money. You know what I mean? And so in terms of like what this video is, and like, I just want to say everyone, hello, welcome to the SLC SMMA, Social Media Marketing Agency. Welcome to the SLC Digital Integrator. So I'm a digital integrator, and what that is at scale, what we're doing is using automation to scale businesses. So in perfect example would be Airbnbs, yachts, apartment buildings for real estate, cruise ships like the Caribbean, so on and so forth. It's how do we reduce the barrier to entry? How do we reduce the time frame? And how do we increase the imaginatory system of the prospect and clients? So what I mean by that is increasing barrier to entry. One press of a button on their phone. Time delay. One press of a button on their phone, and then boom, you have 6-pack abs. Imagine every health program out there. As soon as you purchase the health program for $200, your 6-pack abs show up. Boom, everyone would buy that because the time delay is not there. So the reason why Airbnb is so powerful is subconsciously humans don't like their life. Like, let's think about it. 80 to 90% of people hate their lives because they wake up, go to school, fucking hate school, go to work, fucking hate work, and then go to sleep in their, cheap house because they don't have enough revenue or liquidity, because then they spend money on an expensive car that they spent 10 years hating a job, and they buy this car, and then the car breaks, and then they're sad because they spent 10 years that they traded time for money, you know what I mean? Anyways, what I'm saying is people want to escape that. They want to escape their 9-to-5 bullshit life that they look at Airbnbs, look at Caribbean, look at cruise ships. What that does is imagine a complete app, one app. So this is the digital integrator's job. Client fulfillment, client onboarding process, time delay decrease, and then into the imaginatory subconscious. What I'm saying is imagine one app that an individual could press plane ticket plus cruise ship ticket plus Airbnb plus Trivago, TripAdvisor, everything exclusive with one press of a button, and then only 2.5K. You know what I mean? So like imagine a whole vacation of 2 weeks planned out just for $5,000. You press the button on your phone, and then boom, whoever is on the other side of that sees the message. Oh, so and so from California wants to go on a trip in New York. Trivago, TripAdvisor, plane ticket, cruise ship, everything in 2 weeks package. Press send. Hello, confirmation email. Congratulations on your 5K purchase of the next best experience of your life. And then the person's excited because the the value of imaginatory. Yes, I get to escape my bullshit 9 to 5 job. Yes, I get to leave my life, right? So then what happens is people are willing to trade, all the time that they invested, all the money into having a great vacation. So digital integration is important because at scale, thousands, hundreds of thousands of people want this, right? Client fulfillment. Hundreds of thousands of people want to scale their business. Hundreds of thousands of people are below their profit margins of where they want. Even having 25 plus profit margins of your revenue is crazy. Think about it. If there was a CEO that made, $10 million a month or $10 million, a year or whatever, plus 25% profit margin is insane. And it's hard to get to that point because the CEO is just burning fires all day. Small emails here and there, like, CEOs are just like, it's just putting out fires all day long. The client wants to, do a cashback. Client wants to yada, yada, yada. Because there's too much confusion. What automation allows us to do is over-deliver. So let's say Zapier, Linktree, HubSpot, MailChimp, Slack, all the customer relation managers, what we'll do is just automate everything. So when clients have questions, we'll just send them like FAQ, and the FAQ would have like 1,000 questions. Literally every possible question on the FAQ. What does FAQ even stand for? Frequently asked questions. What is digital integration? Yada yada. Even down to like, hey, how could I improve my health? That could be like the 999th point. Want to improve your health? Become a digital integrator, right? And so, that's actually, get better sleep, drink water, such and so forth. But what I'm saying is, why is that important? Is the market doesn't give a fuck about anybody. Like, I understand, like, talk about language, talk about like, the way we talk. If you really think about it, the market, like holistically, the world, in terms of money and revenue and profit, the market doesn't give a fuck about who you are. Alex Hormozy talked about this. What he said is success is colorblind. It's the same as cancer. Cancer is colorblind. Anybody can get cancer. Success is colorblind. Anyone can be. You can be an absolute asshole and like call everyone like just be so stuck up, so like just push everyone else around you down. Be super negative. Just be like, oh, no one else is as good as the most narcissistic, most asshole like person out there. But you do the actions of networking and promoting your merch, networking and promoting a vitamin or a product. So as a person, the individual could be a complete bitch, right? A complete asshole. But because success is colorblind, they did the actual actions of promoting whatever product or service they want to sell, and then people needed value in that they were able to scale their business. Now, obviously the universe and karma, I'm not to say that being an asshole is the way that, karma can hurt them and the universe would hurt them. But what I am saying is like, imagine someone that had the right intentions, so like was a good human being, someone with the right intentions, organic outreach, they were a genuine human being, face to face, this is a video format, but like if I could do a presentation for 100,000 people, I would. Like, I want to be in front of people like, yes, I am a human being, so being an actual human being, organic outreach and automation at scale, what that allows is success just becomes, like we're Grant Cardone talks about this. He said, if technology doesn't make your life easier, don't use it. And so with that being said, like as a business owner, we can literally leverage, Zapier and automation at such a scale, because in terms of systems, you could already have a system of waking up and then the first hour of the day is just client fulfillment. Why would you spend an hour of client fulfillment when you could have spent an hour on automation and then have that client fulfillment just be done already every single day automatically? Then that 1 hour that you spend on client fulfillment daily could be 1 hour thinking, okay, if automation already works, how could I scale even further? Maybe my market isn't right. Maybe my, maybe doing a niche in real estate is working, but I want to go even bigger. Maybe I need to find apartment buildings. Maybe I need to buy yachts. Maybe I need to buy cruise ships. Maybe I need to buy a whole ass island in order to increase equity and increase profit shares, right? And so what also is interesting is like the concept of delegation. And I think a lot of people are scared to delegate because it's a deficiency. It's a trait and skill deficiency. If I were to delegate to someone, I want to teach them everything that I know so that if they do the exact things that I did because it worked, then I can trust them. But what happens is we're not able to delegate because as an entrepreneur, like me, like I'm the CEO of this digital integrator agency, right? Like as the CEO, as the individual human being entrepreneur, unfortunately there are deficiencies in like where we are. And so it's not an issue, but let's say if I wanted to train someone, I didn't have the necessarily skills to be able to delegate, whatever I was doing. That's when you introspect and do introspection, what you could say, an evaluation, right? Let me evaluate myself to, where are my weaknesses, where are my deficiencies, quadruple down, like octagon, right? Octaton down, quadruple down, 10 sides of a polygon, decagon down, whatever. 10 times down, 100 times down on those weaknesses. Be ruthless about the failures, right? Progress through persistence. So progress through persistence, no matter how many times it's a Super Mario effect. So as an individual, as an entrepreneur, I already visualize where I am, on this big cruise ship, helping thousands of clients, with automation and just having them put their value out and the best information out with one video that sends to all platforms, one email that sends to all platforms that gives the clients not just this much information, but over deliver, right? Grant Cardone talks about this. You want to be more successful? Over deliver. So in this video, right, you think it's enough? Just keep giving value. Just keep giving value. Tony Robbins, he talks about this. Tony Robbins with an S at the end. Tony Robbins talks about this. How do I increase generational wealth to have a business that would last 1,000 years? Even Grant Cardone talks about this. Those real estate properties that he have are going to be there for 200 plus years. But what Tony Robbins says is consistently bring value. And it's like, well, what does that mean? If we were to define what value is to decrease pain. So here, let me write this down. So if we're talking about what value is, okay, it is to 1, decrease pain. So let me write this down. So value. So decrease pain. Okay. Number 2, decrease the time it gets to decrease pain. So decrease time. Remember earlier the idea I talked about, the Airbnbs, you only have to press one button on your phone and then boom, you lose $5,000. I get $5,000, but the whole system is there for you. You decrease pain because you're going to be able to escape your 9-to-5 bullshit job. Decrease the time. It only took one press of a button. And then finally, the desired outcome. Is most to more likely. So the third one is the actual realistic outcome of happening. Outcome is most or more likely to actually happen. So, for someone who wants to buy an Airbnb, it's like, oh, that has already happened. I know what an Airbnb is. I know what an airplane is. I know what, escaping my 9-to-5 bullshit job is. I know what a hotel is. I know what a yacht is, right? So it's like the customer already knows what they're buying. The problem is, they're scared to buy it because it's so hard to, it's hard to plan a trip. So there's even pain in planning the trip, right? So we decrease the pain of planning the trip, and then it takes a lot of time. You have to call up your wife, gotta tell the kids, hey, you got school on this day, when's your spring break? My second kid's spring break doesn't line up with my first kid's spring break. When's your summer break? My first kid's summer break doesn't line up with my second kid's summer break. My wife has work, I gotta drop the third kid off at the daycare center, so it's like there's all these different things of planning. Versus if you press one button and it plans all of it for you and says, hey, in actuality, this app is going to tell the schools that, hey, my son's needing a vacation right now, and even though the spring breaks don't line up, we're just going to delegate the school to have him do the homework on the day that we come back. And the app does all of it for you. Again, decreasing the pain of planning, right? Let's say the wife has work. The app will message the workers at the work, hey, let the wife take a break, decreasing pain, right? Even as the person planning it, let's say that I'm the husband planning the thing. I have to look at all the hotels in the area, look at all of the boats all the yachts in the area, versus the one single app or that we're creating. Like Caribbean has an app. Why Caribbean doesn't just work with American Southwest? Why doesn't Caribbean work with Trivago? Why does it Caribbean work with TripAdvisor? That all the companies can merge together and then call it the Yes app, the Escape 9 to 5 and Go on Vacation app. Call it the Vacation app. Then the individual that wants to do it presses on the app, and then everything's already planned. That increased the time delay to get them to what they wanted, was to plan the vacation. Increase the pain of planning, so then they don't have to message all the school teachers, message their workplace to take work off, message the daycare center, right? Decreasing the time delay, decreasing the pain, and then finally the desired outcome, which is a bomb-ass time on the Caribbean cruise ship, a bomb-ass time on a yacht. And what happens is the person has already seen it. They know that those things exist because they've seen it. It's all over the TV, all over the media. Millionaires have these big jets, billionaires have these big yachts, whatever, such on and so forth. The individual has already seen the desired outcome, which is having a great time on that vacation because the advertisement shows it. And so, in terms of bringing insane amounts of value, right here, write this on our foreheads, right? How do I provide value? Decrease pain, decrease time delay, and then allow the desired outcome, right? Human imagination, human motivation, human inspiration, human exploration, right? All the human shuns, human solutions, human decreasing painions, right? Human, humans escaping the 9 to 5 bullshit eons, whatever you want to talk about it, okay? What I'm saying is digital integration allows, like if I go on Zapier, what I'll do with Zapier is, let's say, for client fulfillment or client onboarding process, so many fucking steps, way too many steps. You have to go into the Zoom. Then the person has to explain everything to you. Then you have questions about how this works. And then you just say blah, 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 blah. Versus if I use Zapier, I would send the individual to Calendly, or even SurveyMonkey. SurveyMonkey and Calendly are essentially the same thing. So like this, I would send a link to the individual. The person presses the link sends them into a ClickFunnels. The ClickFunnels sends them into Calendly or SurveyMonkey. And then the questions are like, hey, like, what's your business? What's your, net worth? Like, or what's your profit margins? Where do you want to be? What are your obstacles? X, Y, and Z. What's your niche? Like, are you real estate? Are you yachts? Are you a gym owner? Are you fitness? It doesn't matter, right? Digital integration is everything, okay? So then Calendly or SurveyMonkey, they fill out 10 questions. I'll read it. Maybe I'll ask them to send a video like this, like, hey, please send a video. Then what'll happen is, as the individual sends the video and what the Zap does is it sends them to ClickFunnels, sends them to SurveyMonkey, sends them to sends them to my website, then sends them to an email, sends them to a webinar, sends them to a masterclass even, okay? So that's like 10 to 8 steps already on Zapier, or HubSpot, Linktree, or whatever you want to use. Then by the time the person, right? By the time we get into the meeting together, like, hey, I'm Sean, welcome to the meeting, right? I already know what the problem is. Let's say it's real estate. Oh, the reason why you're not scaling from 10 mil to 100 million, you just don't have enough units. So let's look at where the worst spots are. Like, people are immigrating from LA to Las Vegas. People are migrating from LA to Texas. People are moving from Georgia to Louisiana, from Louisiana to Georgia, from South Carolina to Indiana, from Indiana to Chicago, from wherever. And like we'll look at the market, we'll look at where the locations are, and go, oh, the reason why I'm only at 10 mil and not 500 million or a billion is because not that I don't have enough units. I have 20 plus apartment buildings, that are giving me, plus 300 mil per month or a year. The problem is location and market. So check this out. Yes, you can own 20 apartment buildings. That's fine, right? The only way to get to, from 300 mil to 1 billion is to just increase apartment buildings. Yes, that's true. Yeah, yes, that's true. However, quality over quantity. I'm gonna have a much more stressful time managing 100 apartment buildings for me to be a billionaire. I don't want that. Versus, let me find the most high paying 20 apartment buildings in Korea, in Singapore, in Dubai, in the UK, in Australia, in South America, in NA, in Canada, in wherever the biggest apartment buildings, right, are in the world. And so what that allows is, instead of 100 apartment buildings in the US, let me do 5 in Dubai, let me do 5 in Australia, let me do 5 here. And what you realize is quality over quantity, and the actual like clientele or the prospects you're recruiting, because they're making more money than the average apartment real estate investor or owner, then you get to learn from people that are making more money from you. But also it's international currencies, right? And so, if you're in Forex, you can even be trading internationally, buying stocks internationally that are going to help you scale your money even further. Why asking for high ticket clients is actually better is because high ticket clients know what the hell they're talking about. Does that make sense? Like it's actually counterintuitive if you think about it. People think, oh, like I gotta start small with the 6-7 figure or CEOs so I can build up my reputation to get to a billion. No, ask a billionaire right away, because they already know what billionaire already knows what they want. Like if I'm doing something for 40 years and it's been working and I'm a billionaire, every single day I'm just compressing, every single day I'm just optimizing and giving value. That's literally all I'm doing. 24/7, compressing, optimizing, and then giving value. If I were a billionaire, that's all I'd be doing. 24/7. And so the billionaire millionaire, they already know, like, they're LASIK. They already know, right, what the fucking issue is. They just don't have fucking time. There's no time, dude. There's no time. And so what that happens is, SMA agency, digital integrators, just like us, the hungry, who not only do we want the bag, but we also want to help. We also want to make an impact. By the time we get on those meetings, both of us, the digital integrator, myself, or the individual that's watching this, I know you're inspired to learn what digital integration is. It's going to be like, by the time you get on the CEO call, you're both already going to be in the same headspace. Well, profit margins are like this. Well, you have a 4,000 units in Dubai. What if you put 2,000 units in Dubai and then 2,000 units in New Zealand? Like let's play test. Let's see what the numbers are. So the clientele, the bigger the clientele is, not only am I gonna get more bag, right? But also I'm gonna learn so much more. Like I don't want to get on a call with a 6-figure earner and they're still picking up scraps and they're still like optimizing. Like, let me get with someone that already is in the business and they're just like, they're learning about how to automate and how to digital integrate. But I'm also learning like, oh, how do I run a 10-figure business? Like in real time. You know what I mean? So it's like, what rubs off on you? Like mirror neurons, who you want to spend time with, that kind of concept. Why would you settle for a 6-7-figure, like in terms of the outreaching process and the organic process within our mental capacity? If I aim for 10, 11, Amazon is 1.6 trillion right now. If I aim for the $1 trillion and quadrillion dollars, right? Up, octillion dollars, centillion, Googleplex, an infinite amount of money. If I aim for that, automatically my brain, the RAS, right, the articulating activating system, we're looking for those opportunities everywhere. And so what happens is we start to realize, okay, the CEO is a human. I am a human. What is time? What is energy? What is health? What is delegation? All these different things. what starts to happen is not only are we worrying about money and finance or whatever, if you realize, wait, in order for me to keep up with all this work and all these tasks, I should have to optimize the systems within myself. So morning routines, right? Nighttime routines, health, exercise. These things become easier because the market doesn't give a fuck about you, right? So if the market doesn't care, what you got to do is outwork your self-doubt. How do you outwork your self-doubt? I think there's finesse. I don't think this, work 16 hours a day, like work till your nails fall off, work till your eyes bleed. Maybe there is some, like, if you're just starting out and you're complete, like, pussy and you never actually, like, strained yourself to work really hard before, and you're just like, oh, like, because no one told me to study, and yeah, and if you never push yourself, to the brink of exhaustion of work before, then, like, after you're getting to that point, you realize, okay, I can still do, I can still get to this point, but with finesse. So check this out. Rather than getting 16 hours of work done and then being fucking gassed at the end of it, what if I worked on my own self-improvement, weightlifting, eating healthy, learning how to study more, human motivation, that those 16 hours actually feel like 2 or 3? Because self-improvement. So rather than increasing the workload, it is increasing your capacity to work. Does that make sense? The reason why school and everyone else is, like, scared or whatever, because the school system gave you an outline. The school system is an assembly line. 5th grade through 8th grade, it's an assembly line. Like, hey guys, do math. Hey guys, do science. Hey guys, do this. It's an assembly line. So our brain, our capacity thinks, oh, my success is only how can I succeed at doing the schoolwork? That's success. Schoolwork really only lasts, let's say, school day is 6 hours, but you're really only doing homework for like maybe 2-3 hours because we're not really paying attention in class because we don't care. When you go home, you're not really doing homework, and when you are doing homework, you're not really paying attention to do your homework. You just want to, like, go play video games or whatever. And when you do your homework, it's like half-assed or whatever. So 6 to 8 hour work school day, more like you're actually doing only your homework for 2 hours, and you're wasting all your time on social media. So, like, you're wasting 6 hours in a day. You see what I mean? So, like, you're not working 8 hours in a school day. Even at work, like a 9-to-5 job, you're not working the full 8 hours. You're talking to your friends, like, you see what I mean? And so the work capacity is not 8 hours of work or however long the school day is. That's not your work capacity. Does that make sense? And so that's why when, like, an entrepreneur is like, well, how can they work for so long? It's because throughout high school and throughout the entrepreneurial journey, they didn't worry about bullshit. They just worried about what is the most important, how can I optimize, and went full throttle, right? And so what I'm saying is, rather than worrying about the amount of work that needs to be done, what if we were able to delegate and focus on increasing our capacity past the threshold of task loads capacity? So within that idea of 8-hour school day, right? 8 hours of work, right? It's not 8 hours of work. It's like 3 or 4 or 6 or whatever. Anyways, in that 8-hour work day, your work capacity is between like 6 to 8 hours. So then when you go back home, you just want to rest and sleep and eat and be lazy. Versus human motivation, increasing my capacity to work, having actually fun while studying, having actual fun and doing what I actually want to do, right? Then our capacity to work increases tenfold. It goes from 6 hours to 16 hours. But even then, even after, like myself, even after I study for whatever, a 2 or 3 hour study session, I'll feel like, hey, that was nothing. Because of human motivation, because of having fun, because of the power of why. Like, I'm studying because I want to get out the rat race. I'm studying because I want to get out of the middle class. I'm studying because I want to be in the top 0.1%. Like, I want to be in the 0.01%. I want to be, right? And so if that's the case, rather than, oh, I need to do 1,000 assignments in a day, but I only have a 6-hour work capacity, and I'm scared because the school system said a D was bad. No, D for damn, bro, let me commit to other things because maybe school's not for me. You ever thought about that? And so what I'm saying is, like, what happens is success is not an actual material thing. It's an identity. As of right now, in terms of liquidity and in terms of, like, in terms of liquidity, That's obviously personal information. But what I'm saying is, there can, like, a lot of you talk. I think success is an identity, millionaire, billionaire, da da da. Rather than in a certain situation, oh, I don't have motivation, oh, I'm tired. I could just ask myself, well, what could a billionaire do? What could a billionaire do? A billionaire can work for 12 hours, no stop. So if that's the case, and if I want to be one, then I would just copy exactly what they're doing, replicate, learn from their mistakes, quadruple down those mistakes, right? But anyways, I'm gonna leave everyone with this. It's a very long video, but there's hella content in this. And this is all free. Like, this is literally distribution at scale. So here you go. Value, decrease pain, value, decrease time it takes to decrease pain, value, the desired outcome is most or more likely. So we need to get all of this in. Thank you for watching.